FUBOtv look an interesting stock bet at the moment. Stock price was up massively yesterday, about 45%, off the back of some news from the CFO saying that thought the revenues were going to double in the next few years, also highlighting a very strong subscription base. And for those who don't know, they are a live streaming TV service, sort of with an emphasis on sports like NBA, NFL, and that subscription base is also very willing to spend their money. So it's expected to grow in terms of fundamentals. It's looking pretty decent. It's trending on social media. You could call it one of those meme type stocks. So if the wind gets behind them, they could be an interesting one to watch. Now, what's been going on in the charts? Well, I'm going to take a look now, and also going to throw in a few trade ideas for you as well. So with that, let's get on with the analysis. So jumping straight into the line chart, the weekly line chart for a longer term perspective, what is it showing us? Well, really, I suppose the first thing to draw your attention to down in that bottom left is the 95.7% fall in the price from those sort of February 21 highs down to the recent sort of July lows, and we can see now that price just starting to turn up. A huge amount of volume playing around on this side of things, also covered in this yellow box area where there's a lot of price noise. So I think if it does recover, then this could be an initial stalling point, and it's also got to get through this trend line here, and that could be an important key break around the 15 area. So if you're looking this from a neutrals point of view, just on the charts, not looking that great, but we got some momentum at the moment coming in to the stock. Now, if you are bullish on the 4-line break chart, we got some entry points for you. A more aggressive 6.75, a more conservative 8. Like I say, if you fancy that, you know, price going on upwards, and if the, like I say, the meme stock, you know, social following gets behind it, this one could explode quite quickly. Because if we look at the daily Heikin-Ashi chart, let's just head down to the volume straight as a volatility straight away. We can see that it's picking up. It's around about 165%. So it's a volatile old stock, this one. It can explode. Now, our signals both are bullish for the DMI adjusted and looking promising. Volume also on its way up. We can see pretty much the trend is down, and we got a shorter term buy signal probably about 6-7 days ago, you know, giving us the call to push up, and that's the buy signal from the box breakout setup that I've got built into this chart. Now, if we then head on to the Req'd chart, using 0.2 block size, much shorter term price action, as you can see, and at the moment we've got this bullish trend DMI in play, but just sort of becoming a bit more neutral as the price pulled off after that dramatic day's trading yesterday, and that in turn has created some shorter term, you know, sell setups. But maybe it could be a buying the dip opportunity for those bullish of the stock. Now, downsides, well, there's not much left to the downside really after we saw that 90% move down. So next lows back to the, you know, all-time lows around this 2.75 area. You know, if it continues that, you know, nice downward trend that we've seen for a while now. But if it can break on up, targets, well, I think it's going to be around this 9-10 area first, then around to about 15, and then up to the early 20s before it can start thinking about breaking up for the long term. Go back to that weekly line chart, see where that trend line is cutting across. It's around about this sort of zone here. It's got to get through there to get even more bullish. So if you're interested in trading Fubo, where can you do so? And let's now look at a few trade ideas. So heading into my Tiger Brokers account, I typed in FUBO in the top left and we got back the basic stock information. Lots of analysis there for you to follow up. You can see the order book and yesterday's massive price spike action. And also, if you're interested in doing a bit more research on these guys, there is some excellent tools here, from shareholder information, dividends, short interest. You can see this was, like I say, categorized as one of those meme stocks because short squeeze type play that could be built around it, which could also see the price spike quite heavily. So a lot of extra information there, but to me, I'd be looking maybe at a call option. There's a limited amount of expiries that you can play in strikes due to it's not a massive stock, about $1 billion market cap, so you're limited to some extent. So I'd be looking for a longer day, a longer expiry call option to combat the sort of time decay effect and the costs of the trade. Also give ourselves a chance to get up to some decent numbers. So as you can see, not too much to choose from. I think the 45 just feels too short to me, so I'm going to go for the 94 day. And if we look at the calls down here, I'd probably buy one that's a couple of strikes out the money, costing just over $1. Don't forget that multiplier, of course. We click on that, you can see there is some volume going through it at the moment. That's the 9 strike, so that could be a decent play if you are bullish for FUBO in the longer term. So with that, let's now take a look at the score for FUBO. So score wise, I'm going weak bullish. Why weak bullish? Well, you can see the Req'd data there is a bit of a mixed bag after that volatile day yesterday, and with the longer term trend being down as it was, like I said, a bit more neutral there on the Req'd chart. Heikin-Ashi chart though looking a lot more bullish, trying to break that weak trend area. So the mixture of those two, weak bullish overall. But if that Req'd starts turning more bullish, then I'd upgrade to a full-on bullish. And in the top right corner you can see some entry points if you are bullish of FUBO at 6.75 and $8. Now heading into the targets, I've used tight stops here, so the risk return does look quite juicy, especially to the upside. We got 8.25 and 16.25 to 1, and to the downside 2.6 and 3.2 to 1. But like I say, overall weak bullish at the moment. So I think based on the fundamentals and the sort of more warming up bullish position it's showing at the moment, tied that in with the big social sentiment, then things could be looking up for FUBO. And like I said, that social media spotlight could drive the price up very quickly. Or do you think it's just one of the meme stock brigade that are getting caught up in the recent noise with stocks like Bed Bath and Beyond, those type of plays? Let me know in those comments below. Love to hear your thoughts on where you think FUBO are heading next. Well, if you've liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching. Good luck with the trading. I'll see you in the next video.